Hey, Tom here. Oh, shit. Flip Anything USA. Where's my camera? Hang on, I'm here. Here we go. That's funny. All right. Hey, it's Fake Guru Friday, but to be honest, I've been super busy, and I don't know what's happening to my camera here, but let me fix it a little bit. So we can talk about commercial real estate investing. I think that would be a good topic. I actually going to show you some of the stuff I've been doing. And let me see here. Let's get some of this stuff out. So I thought I'd show you guys something. This is one of the projects I got going on right now. Let me bring this back here. I'm taking a commercial building and I'm putting a new facade on it. Hey, glad to see you in here, everyone. Gemini and GT, looks like GTO. Let me see. Oh, GTB. Hey, Grant, that's right. Saw you earlier. Yeah, so you guys know I'm a real investor, so I can't spend a lot of time in big productions, but I got the scissor lift out today, and I've got this project. I'm going to talk about this too. And sorry, I got to put my head out of the way. This is one of my ugly old building that's getting a bit of a facelift.
Hey, Tom here,
and I'll explain it in a second. But this old Mansart style shingles, it looks like hell. I paid $1.05 million cash for this building. And it's worth more, quite a bit more actually. And it's in an awesome location. And I've got a video coming. A lot of you guys tune out and get bored when I do my remodel videos. It's something. I'm a carpenter, right? I'm a general contractor. Saying, look, we've already lost viewers already just because they see the topic. But we're going to talk about commercial real estate too. Hey, Russ, glad you're in here. And there's some important stuff that we can kind of talk about and cover. Hey, if you're new here, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I promise you learn a lot. So under that, you go look at that mouth. That doesn't look good. Hey, Tom here, Flip Anything. So you peel back the layers of this stuff, and it's just interesting what you find. They'll say they don't build them like they used to. In a lot of cases, that's really good, depending on who the builder was at that time. I've seen some pretty horrible stuff. But this is one of the things I got going on. And you can see, there's a lot of demolition. Got the scissor lift out again. We ripped all that stuff off you just saw earlier. And I got a nice video coming on this for those of you that like that sort of thing. We got it steel framed here. This stuff by itself is not strong enough. The wind can catch it. It can, so you can't really see it in here. But I've got angle iron in here, and then I've got pieces that go inside the building that catch several steel trusses, 8 feet deep, every 4 feet, all the way around to my, to the specs of my. My engineer. And also on this, I got to show you this. So this is one of the things that's very frustrating as an investor. And somebody in the community is, I try to make things better where I can. But these are thieves. I get thieves, checking my, doors, like spooks around my properties. This is from one of my Ring cameras there. It's very, very frustrating. And I got some video here. Maybe this is a video. Just weird stuff. These guys checking a door. This is like 2 a.m., okay? Does this guy look like he's up to no good or what? What the hell's he doing on my property? Oh, look at this. Look at him. Oh, my God. God. It's just a mess. You see people that otherwise look normal, just doing some weird shit. And I'm I'm so glad we got most of that stuff out of here. Hey, Kris. Basically, Kris, I'm showing one of the commercial remodels wrapped up here. And so again, now you can see that's the facade, or that big thing that was out in the front, the overhang.
Tom,
it's gone, and this is kind of in the final days. And you'll get the whole videos coming, but basically, just all the stuff that goes on in putting on a new facade. Like I say, in the beginning, you see that ugly thing, and in the end, you see something else. But anyways, so let's talk about commercial real estate. I was going to share something, and this is random. I went over here in Dallas in this video, in LoopNet here, and I'm pulling up some things. And I did it because of the site. I was looking for shopping centers that are over 60,000 square feet. And like I said, this one here, this is $21 million, and it is 126,000 square feet. So it's under $200 a foot. And this is a good looking place. But and I'm not being specific to this property, but I want to tell you about something and present something to you that is a real problem, or can be, right? Now look at this center. It's beautiful. I mean, I love all real estate. Land is beautiful. A junkyard is beautiful. Anything that I can rent out and make a profit has a beauty to me, and I mean that sincerely. I love all property, but what's interesting, I was looking at a property, and again, it's not this one. I want to be clear, it's not this one, but I found a property that is about 80-90% occupied. It's a property that's a little bit more rural than most, but it's a large property, and the problem is a little bit complex. Every year I fight, the tax assessor's office in various counties in the country, and a lot of times you don't get the best and brightest people there. A lot of them, they just don't know how to appraise. I don't even think they could make it in the real world, to be honest. Some of them, not all of them. Some are pretty cool. But the bottom line is, they don't care about what your income is. They don't care. They can't understand the nuances and the things, the problems that a property can have that makes it worth less. I'll give you an example. I'm fighting one right now. I'll be in court before long, or in arbitration, and that one is over. The appraiser doesn't understand that I have a warehouse that has no ceiling height, and it has no access around it. And so, and this is what happens. You get people that are new to commercial property. They don't understand what they're looking at. And then sometimes the higher ups get irritated that you're arguing with them. It's like, well, shit, give me somebody that understands a sophisticated portfolio. It's very frustrating. So, but anyways, back to this issue with this property, and it's something I need to dive into. And it's not, again, it's a commercial center like this one. I don't tell people what I'm looking at. I don't want anybody, screwing with my deals. So I don't, I'm a real investor. It's not HGTV here. But what I want to talk about is that you get a property that maybe it struggles, but so you kind of bend over backwards to get a good anchor tenant in there, a good tenant that'll bring traffic to the place. But they're not going to do it because maybe it doesn't fit the demographic exactly, but they're willing to stick their neck out. I'm talking like a big company, and they'll say, you know what, we'll go ahead and we'll put something in here. It could be a grocery store, something like that. And then they go, okay, we'll do it. And so you give them a rent rate that is very low, but they have the right to renew at a low rate now for 40 years. They'll always be under market or low. Maybe it's at market today, but it'll be closer to maybe below market at a later date. So as a businessman, I'm like, hey, you know what? I can make this work. I'm getting a good deal on the building. I'll go ahead and, give these people a decent deal. Let them, be the main tenant. and they're sticking their neck out. It's a shared risk. It's a shared approach. Our success is shared. They have a successful store. They make money. I get to rent them the four walls, and I make money. Well, the tax man is what can really F this thing up. And let me explain. So I give them a deal on this, and now, because let's just say I've got a, with their tenancy in there, and they take half the building. They take 50,000 square feet, and I got another 100,000. I'm sorry, they take 50, and I got another 50 available. Well, I rent it to them like warehouse pricing, like half of what it would go for if it was retail, and it was just a little closer in town. So they get $1 a foot. Well, and they get to renew it at a pretty low rate for, decades. Well, eventually the community will build up around it, and then it'll be a really good deal for them because they'll have a low rent and they'll have a good high traffic area. But the only reason it happened is because I've extended them such a low rate in the beginning to make it worth them to, spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on their remodel to move in and that sort of thing. So my issue is with the tax folks. They don't care if they say you're under renting your building. They don't understand that if you didn't do this, you wouldn't have any tenancy at all. Now on half the building, because those will be short-term leases, 3 to 5 years, those ones I can keep bumping the rents up and I can keep them at market. But this large section that made all of the tenancy possible by bringing them in and working a deal, giving them a deal, and they will always be under market, and then the other half of the building will stay at market. So the threat is that the tax man says, no, we're going to tax you on that building as if it rents for the full amount, and so the problem is that the tax man takes a big chunk of money off of your efforts and off of what you buy and what you own, but they don't help. You know what I mean? They're just like they're the tax man, more, and it's they need to respect the fact that business is made, and it brings tax dollars. It brings a bigger tax base into the community just having these businesses operate. And so, but where I'm going with this is that what prevents me from buying this property is the inability, knowing that the tax authorities will probably be unreasonable, and it'll be overtaxed in the near future, and I mean for decades. And so it kind of damages the investment, right? Because even though it's worth X now, and as it progresses, but in other words, they don't work with you. And it's a problem. Because if they would, if they took a business approach, it would be good for everyone. Anyways, so I think I kind of, I'm being a little bit cryptic at the same time because I don't want to give away exactly what I'm looking at. But if you can just imagine this center area right here, being rented, for peanuts, but now it brings all this life to the center, brings all these other businesses in, and the only thing you get from the tax man is a bigger, fatter tax bill, and then going to court and fighting them and beating them down, which is something I do, and I don't like it, but I have to do it, because the taxes have become very substantial, and when I've had my taxes go up over $100,000 just in taxes, in a single year. It's a lot of money, and so that's it's one of the sad parts of being an investor is having to deal with that sort of thing, and it's just how it is. And another one is like trash companies right now. Since you got the cities putting these ordinances where you got to have 2 separate trash cans, one for recycle, one for trash, and what that sets you up for is getting fined by the trash company. They mount cameras on the dumps, and so when they pick up, They go to dump it, and they go, you have trash in the recycle bin that doesn't belong there. $170 more per dump on every dump that they can identify something. So next thing you know, what used to be a $400 a month bill is now closer to like a $1,400 bill. Ridiculous. And so, again, and why I take issue with that is that 85% of the trash that you put in a recycle bin doesn't get recycled anyways. It's a crazy number. That's like there's almost no reason to even separate the barrels anyways, because they don't get they don't go through them. They don't go through them. They just you know what they do? It's ridiculous. You separate the trash, and then when they get to the dump, they mix the shit. It's ridiculous. They don't pull the stuff out. It's just more stupid stuff. Yeah, got to move to Puerto Rico. Yeah, no, not yet. No, I mean, listen. We live in a great country. It's not run very well right now, for sure. It's run terribly, and we got a lot of problems. We got a lot of I mean, when you have 6,000 people coming to your country from China over the Mexican border in one day, you got a problem, and that's where we're at. And it's unbelievable that nobody does anything about it on either side. It's pretty pathetic, but it is what it is. Anyways, but I always say the best thing you can do is make money. If you make money, your life will be easier. Make money, and you may not like what's going on, but you're not going to be affected by it as much as those that don't. And of course, everybody's got to vote. Everybody needs to vote and take it. You can't be apathetic. Otherwise you're going to get screwed, and it's just how it is. So look, hey Liam, good to see you in here. Russ, Kris, we got some really great students from the class in here that have made a lot of money. So it's wonderful. They know better. I say it all the time. The best thing you can do about a poorly run country is make money. It's just make money. It's the only way to combat it. You can at least take care of you and your friends and your family, and that's just kind of how it is. So anything you guys want to talk about, look at, I got LoopNet up here. We can jump in, go somewhere, whatever you want to look at. I was supposed to try to make this fake guru Friday. I kind of made a fake guru Thursday. I was talking about, some of the Subto complaints over on Reddit that I've read about. And, also Kris Krohn. I had a lady who said Kris Krohn was pestering the shit out of her by text. And then according to her, I can't verify this, or I have her live video talking about it. But she said that in the end, Kris Krohn had wrote her and said, he was trying to get her to borrow $60,000 or something to invest with him for a fund. He's got a fund going. And he, in the end, he told her, according to her, he said, "I'm blocking you. You're a loser." Is what she said. Anyways, crazy. Okay, closing on my 2-2 condo. Congrats, Kris. Glad for you. Also, Liam has a new property he bought in the low twos. Congrats, Liam. Look really great. I was glad for you to share that. That was really nice to see. And I've got two. In fact, maybe I can show you. Really fast progress on my latest deals here. And maybe I can show you the library. And hope that I don't show you something. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so I've been looking at granite, by the way. If granite countertops. These, let me bring that back up. The granite countertops, it's amazing. You've got granite marble. You've got, what is it? You have quartz, and you have quartzite. Quartzite is actually natural stone. Quartz itself is not. It's, I think it's basically crushed, reconfigured quartz. But I've been looking at, these various stones. It can be a tough decision if you're making it for your own home. It's a very easy decision if I'm making it for a rental. Anyways, and I think actually this is one of the colors I'll be using. In fact, actually, Kris, I appreciate your input. That's probably what I'm going to use, Kris, if you want to take a look at that right now. This is it. Preto Negresco. And it's pretty highly rated. Level D is pretty, yeah. The way these, if you don't know how they rate quartz and granite and that sort of thing, is an A is a cheaper, and as you get down to, D's, E's, G's, and F's, they're a much higher dollar product, much rarer product. And there's some really cool stuff. But anyways, I think this is what I'm going to be going on my custom home kitchen. But what else? There's my grandson right there. Yep. Went to the bank with me. And look at this. This is a piece of, this is quartzite right here. And I thought it was interesting. It looks like wood. It really is an interesting product. And this is going in if you want to see the custom. And by the way, listen, I'll jump anywhere you want. You guys tell me where you want to go. I just kind of jumped in. I didn't want to, not jump on. This is really cool too. That's an AI floor, right? I was playing with different floors. That's maple, but that's an AI generated floor right there. But that's the real kitchen up there. That's the big glass window in the background. But it's pretty interesting. Chris says, he approves on the granite. Yep. Yeah, I agree, Chris. We're going to go with the black. And there's my mother's dog. Oh, this is kind of interesting. So check this out. That is a 1987 or a 1988 Bronco. I bought that brand new in 1987. I was 25 years old. And I remember I was just about a millionaire right about then. And, that was kind of that was a big buy back in 1985. And I'll tell you what's funny is, maybe I can show you. Because I've told you guys you know that, and this thing's pretty gross, but I'll show you this. So look at 1987. I bought it brand new. I was flying high, 25 years old, just about made my first million. So I decided I'd get myself a nice car. This is pretty gross in here. Let me get out of that one. I'm going to see if I can show you my 1985 cell phone. Well, let's see, maybe. Yeah, check it out. There's my 1980. You can see it here by my cursor. That's what you call a transportable. But that was a cell phone, folks, back in the 80s right there. And in fact, I talk about the story when I was looking for a beach house on Ocean Drive. And it was I did get one there. Got it under market, did well on it. But before I did well on that one, I lost a deal that I could have made $200,000 on. I'll never forget what the lady, she said, and it was all because of it was all my fault that I lost this deal. But she said, he who hesitates gets left at the starting gate. Just broke my heart. But I would have felt worse. I would have made $200,000 if I'd have moved a little bit quicker. I blew it. And I explained that to the class and why it's such an important lesson. But, and I don't know what, all this crap that's in this car here, it has nothing to do with my truck. It just somehow got thrown in there. But anyways, that's a cell phone. Call it a transportable. I could take that out. I could pull that handset out, and there was the brains of that thing was in the back. It snapped out, and it snapped into another case. And I had a cell phone, but it was about the size of a shoebox when you put it back together. And you walk around like a little purse. It's kind of crazy. But it gave you a phone, which was very important at the time. What else? Isaiah trying to sell a storage facility in Georgia under contract. Well, good, man. Hope you get it. Hope it goes through. Yeah, by the way, the interest rates, right? Oh, that's me doing various poses. That's just a spot on the ceiling. This is me taking a picture for my guys to address. We had a lot of roof work to take care of. We had some roof leaks. There's my mother. This is another. This are some Vietnamese import cabinets, and they're actually quite nice. They're all 1/2-inch plywood. They're paint grade. You're looking at about $3,300 right there, and that one in the last house and I was pretty happy with the way it turned out. They just finished the floor in there, and lots of good stuff going on. But anyway, let's get back to some commercial or whatever you guys want to talk about. Hey, Andrew, good to see you in here. Anyways, hey, we're going to have probably a short class tomorrow for those of you in the mentorship. You know, Christmas is here, or the holidays are here pretty much. Kids are getting out of school, that sort of thing. So probably have a little bit shorter. I won't give up Saturdays, but we'll probably be a little bit short on some of these because I know everybody's got obligations and visits and shopping to do and all that sort of thing. But it's nice to see in here. So, I just got another one under contract recently. Kris, just saying right now, he's about to close. He got a condo about $60,000, $70,000 under market, as well as Liam. He's got something, maybe $70,000, $80,000 under market. And Russ also just closed something, or he just closed something pretty big. Listen, the people that tell you, don't invest now don't know what they're talking about. It's always a good time to invest, but it's never a good time to overpay. And you can overpay in good times and bad. So just keep that in mind. And that's the beauty of the mentorship. And by the way, if you don't know about the mentorship, this is it. Go to flipanythingusa.com. And I got the brightest, most successful students of anybody on the web. Urge you to compare. Jerry here made $2 million. There's almost $1 million here with Josh. Shane here. Everybody's become like family too. Shane, only been in 9 months, made about $200,000. Kris there, probably 700 plus now. Rich, $1.3 million. Mike Stiz about 3 houses. At the time he made $600,000, but he's up now. He's up to about $1.4 million. Tina's done fantastic. Ron, at the time, $200,000 here. Now he's, $4 million in real estate and $1 million debt against it. He's made over $3 million. And Liam, Liam's going to be in the stratosphere here, in the Millionaire Club in no time. Steve did it quickly as well. So anyways, that's all. Anybody got anything specific you want to look at? We can jump over on LoopNet. But be sure to get in the webinar. Right here, up that little where my cursor is, click on that, fill out the mentorship survey. That's another one. Fill that out, and I'm telling you, there's nothing like real estate. You guys 30 to 50, 60 years old, how much will a couple $100,000 or a couple $1 million improve your life? It can be the difference of retiring in comfort or not, putting your kids through school or not. I get it. I understand it. I've been blessed. I've made money my whole life because I got into real estate early. But I certainly, feel for those of you that don't have that security that I've had. But I'm telling you, you can turn it around. You can do it. And you do those things, jump in there, and I'll personally have a call with you, and I'll give you my 2 cents if it'll help you. Just take a little time to fill out the mentorship survey and that. And also the book. Get the book, Wake Up and Smell the Real Estate. Been a bestseller on Amazon, Audible, and Kindle. Urge you to get that. That's probably I know for sure that's the safest, best money you could ever spend on anything. It's like $10 or $20 for paperback. I make $7. No big deal. I think it's getting near the end of the day here. I'm ready to do something else. But we can jump around here a little bit. Why not? I tell you, I love real estate, and we'll look at some smaller properties. We'll go ahead and look in Dallas here. Let's look at I'll tell you, multifamily. I've never really cared for multifamily. Don't get me wrong. I've made millions of dollars on multifamily, but I don't love it. It's a bit of a hassle, and a lot of people think it's great that aren't in it. But let me just tell you, there's just so many things that can go wrong. I have a potential new student just contacted me, and he's got 32 units, 18% vacancy rate. You got to really be a good landlord, and he's an hour away from his properties. I was a really good landlord, and I still am. But you work, you earn it. You might as well have a hotel sometimes when you have an apartment building. You need management, you need maintenance, laundromat. There's a lot of things. You make a lot of money, if you do it right. But here, let's take a look at this. It actually looks like that might be pretty good. So look, this is over in Dallas, by the way. So, this looks pretty good. Let's take a look at this. So, looks like I'm going to guess that might be concrete tilt-up with a rock finish on it. But, yeah, I believe that's tilt wall. So look at this. Let's look at this building. And this is actually a good building because this is the kind of thing that a lot of these appraisers don't get. So this is a warehouse, and it actually looks kind of like a flex property here. Oh, maybe it's 2 floors. Let's take a look. Anyways, but it's got access on 4 sides. Oh, I don't know why they're calling this an industrial building. This isn't an industrial building. See, look at this. They're calling this an industrial building, and see this. And by the way, I want you to take a look at this because this is important. I don't like this building at all. Now, the $99 a foot I like on the surface. I would like that if it was 1 floor, 12-foot ceilings minimum. It would be awesome. It would be awesome. But this bit of big foyer or courtyard, if you want to call it that, this is an enormous waste of space. This if I had this building, I mean, what the problem is, you kind of lose the ability. See, they got a little koi pond here, something to entertain people when they walk in. This would be fine in the city, in an office district, but they're calling this an industrial building. You could still scrape this out, and you could still utilize this space for industrial for inside. Yeah, it is. It's very similar to the one I was picking apart the other day, Kris. You're right. But I would rather this be a floor straight across, and then this would just be. It could be office, or it could just be in, flex space to assemble and build things. I love. Now there we go. Now here's a portion of it. This is a separate picture over here. But I would prefer this whole thing look like this. Just one big open area like this. The reason is you can put in this shelving that you see here, and you can go up maybe 20 feet, 20 plus feet. When you start getting 20 plus feet, it's like doubling the size of the building, because for a warehouse, that's what you want to do. You want to fill it up with stuff. So now, that's really pretty there. Now that's a good looking shot there. I love that. I don't care about the office stuff that I saw, but this looks pretty good. Yeah, this is looking better all the time, actually. Heating and air conditioning. I'll tell you what, these heating and air conditioning guys in Texas, these guys literally are printing money. The heat is terrible, and air conditioning and Freon, and it's just crazy. But yeah, man, I'm starting to like this property. Anybody in Dallas looking for a property, I would take a look at this. It's too far away from me, but yeah, this is pretty interesting. And it's got plenty of bays here behind my head. There's one that's it's got a elevated dock. That's important for a lot of people. And it looks, I don't know how big a freeway this is, but Skillman Street. I'm looking for freeways. You kind of want a freeway nearby. You can see you can get a truck in here. It doesn't have very good access to the docks. See the docks behind my head? This is where they have the bays and the roll-up doors. The access is not very good in there. See, look, here's the front, and that's where the trucks can go, right? Trucks need access to those docks and bays, and you can see looking back in here inside that whatever. You got a gate here. You can get, but it doesn't look like it's friendly to a big 18-wheeler, and so that's a little bit of a negative. What I would probably do is I would probably get rid of that. What did I do? Oh man, what did I do? Hang on, guys. Here we go. We've got too many tabs open. What I was going to say is you can see on this thing as you scroll through these pictures, the roll-up door being back here, it's just terrible access for a truck. But what might be a better move is just cut this thing out in the front where this car is, cut that thing out, and put a roll-up door there. You know, just the trucks, you got to be able to get an 18-wheeler to this property. It's one of the reasons this thing doesn't look so good to me now. But, man, that is some nice space right there. But the problem is you can't get a good truck to it. So it still has its place, don't get me wrong. This is weird. I think he must have his pictures mixed up. Because look, we have roll-up doors on both sides. But I don't see the images that support that. Yeah, oh, I see. You guys, I don't know if you can see this. It's got roll-up doors over here, but there's no room. There's no room to get a truck to it. See? There's roll-up doors on the back side of this. They should have kept this property if they had an opportunity, because you know what I mean. This building would be awesome if this building wasn't here, and you could get, you know, because they've got roll-up doors on this back side and on two sides, which is a beautiful thing. You know, in you know, basically your you know, your goods coming in, your finished goods going out, or you know, stuff that you stock and then send back out. Hey Kelly, glad to see you in here. Yeah, I had a beautiful building similar to this, but it had great access. I was a little bit afraid of it because at the time, this is like 20 years ago, but I wish I'd have bought it. I could have got it for about $50 a foot, and it was beautiful. It was probably 30-foot ceiling heights, concrete tilled up, and it was just a mass of doors on both sides. And, you know, basically it was, you know, big trucks would pull in, back in, empty, and they'd sort it out, and another one would come in and pull it away. You know, people are afraid of warehouse. I love warehouse. I would love to have one tenant take that whole space, and they will. They will. Warehouse is in demand. You know, look at just about everything we get now, right? It comes in the mail. So they have, you know, strategic locations for warehouse all over the country for all kinds of things, So let's see what else we can find. See, now look at this. This is a good sign. You know, an 8.8 cap. Everybody's been sitting on these buildings, you know, trying to get a 6 cap. And, you know, listen, the prices are falling. And don't, listen, I want to talk about this Fed, you know, the Jay Powell's, you know, announcement. You know, he plans on lowering the rate maybe 4 times in 2024. Which, you know, I mean, if he does 1/8 of a point, you know, that's nothing. But again, even if he did a 1/4 point 4 times, you know, 1% is nothing. Look, it's like, look at the interest rates are high. They're already high enough now. They're damaging property values. People are in denial, and they're holding out for more, but they're about to crumble. Many of them are about to crumble. There's a lot of people that are late. There's a lot of multifamily going down the tubes. You know, if you guys understand what's going on, you know, the people that had variable rates, Ben Mall is one of them. He's gotten damaged terribly from the rates going up. And but other people that, you know, got fixed rates, they're in better shape, but they're not completely in the clear, because if you got a fixed rate loan, you know, at a great rate, you know, 4 or 5 years ago, well, next year, you know, the changed, you know, they're going to, you know, if you got a normal 5-year run before they adjust it, that's coming. And when that 5-year adjusts, then you're in the same boat that Ben Mall is in with his adjustable rates got him into. And so, you know, I just see it getting pretty grim. I know, and you got to remember, you know, look, the FBI, you know, I don't know how I want to get into it, but there's certain departments that are controlled by others that shouldn't be controlled by others. They're not as independent as they seem. And, you know, the Fed is supposed to be independent of our government. But to me, I think, and I was talking to one of my bankers about this, I told him, I said, you know what? I just think this is a political favor. It's very bad for the incumbent to have the rates raised as much as they are, and so it's kind of like this could just be a political favor, saying, yeah, well, I plan on lowering it next year, and then they get appointed and they say, yeah, see, look, we've already we've affected things where we've made the economy so good that the rate, well, even if they went down, you got to remember they've gone up so much that to reduce them down a little bit means nothing. It means nothing. Don't think for a second it's rosy talk. It's a political year, and I think that's a political favor, and that's what I told my bank. I said, look, that's a political favor. The rates ain't going down. I don't think the rates are going down. And even if they did, it's not going to matter. They've already gone up so much that taking them back a little bit, it's like it's like raising the prices 100% and then having a 10% off sale. It's like nothing. It means nothing. So don't get all excited about that. The market's still in deep trouble, and it's going to continue, and prices are going to continue to drop. And that means opportunities. And listen, there's always opportunities. You can still buy. You just got to remember, I buy in a declining market, but I don't pay full retail. I buy far below market so I can get in and out before that line crosses. That decline line hits wherever I'm buying at. I don't want them to hit. So I get in and out before that happens. If you have my book, get my book. I've got a chapter in there on leapfrogging, and it's for that, addressing, getting rid of properties in a declining market, and or buying when things are, in an ascending market and things are looking good, or when you got people at your tail that are fighting over the same thing. You kind of blow them out of the water initially and take control. So, anyways, what else can we look at here? Oh, this looks interesting. Wow. Now, I don't know this area, but, this says a retail building. Let's take a look at it. I don't like two-story retail in general. Oh, now here's a Total Wine. That's somewhere I actually frequent more than I probably should. But see, look at it. It's see, you pay a premium for a Total Wine. You can see above my head here, 4.79 cap. So, if you borrowed 3/4 of the money, you could buy that thing and lose your ass, because, you just think, if you're borrowing the money, you're negative, 3%, and on $10 million, that's a big negative. But here's a retail building. Let's take a look. Now, this one looks interesting to me. Now I say it looks interesting. It looks like something I wish I had near me, because I'm in an area where this would be very valuable. But oh no, this is $1,000 a foot. Yeah, that wouldn't be so exciting. Oh my gosh, yeah, this doesn't look like much at all. No, it's a nice enough corner, but I wouldn't pay that for it. Let's go back in here. Here's an 8 cap on 2 retail properties, $5 million. Doesn't look like $5 million. Here's an industrial building, but looks like it's going to be about $1.30 a foot. That's a little bit too much. Let's look at. Okay, so now this is interesting. Now this looks like it's closer to $1.50 a foot. Let's take a look at this. And it's got an 8 cap. This is something that would catch my eye. Not that it's good enough. See, look at it, $146 a foot. Nice big piece of property, it would appear. Yeah, it looks. I like the size. I like the geometry of the building. It looks like it's the right size. It's the way it should be. A little deep, maybe. A little bit deeper than I like this way. A little bit deeper than I like for the little stores. So that's a little rough. I wonder if it's 100% occupied. I see 94% leased. So look at when you see this 94% leased, think about that. My guess is, and it looks like I'm right, the 94% leased are these three big stores right here. You've got WellMed, Texas, whatever that is, and Family Dollar. So these are big rooms. These are very big. They're like a Burlington Coats, right? They're big. And the 6% that's not leased, I'm going to guess, it's probably just this suite right here. But these long, skinny ones, these can be a little bit difficult. And, the life of a retail tenancy is not so good for small business. Small business in general fails. And so you got some risk there with new companies. That's why I like existing companies. Existing companies that have already survived and made it. They've proven themselves. Now here again, look at this is a flex building. It's like $2 a foot. It's too much. It's too much. And they didn't even mention the cap rate, probably because they don't have a tenant. Probably don't have a good cap rate either. Let's see. Again, offices, look at this, an office building. Looks like they want $500 a foot, $550 a foot. No thanks. $4 million. This looks crazy. $170 a foot with a 7 cap. It doesn't look like it looks okay. I like the freeway is nearby above my head. Parking is not good though. See the parking? Parking is inadequate, it would seem. Well, they got parking both sides, so that helps. No, not really. See, they got their access to their doors in the back, but the parking's terrible. So, again, not for me. What else? There's a Sprouts. Again, a 5.25 cap rate. No thanks. Here's one a little better. Dollar General, 6.5 cap. This is kind of getting into trust fund baby territory. If you had a trust fund baby, somebody that would, be a passive asset for them because they wouldn't know how to handle it, so something like that, and you got a good triple net tenant here and a AAA rated credit risk, that would be all right. So this would be for somebody that has more money than they have sense, and it would be a good way to you inherit some money and you put it so you don't blow it. And it would continue to grow, and they'd probably be there for a long time. Family Dollar's pretty solid. Here's 3. Now I like the prices on this stuff, but it's all relative to rent. So the question, Isaiah says, how much can the freeway affect the value? It can affect it a lot if it's industrial. Less important for retail. This retail stuff is more dependent on the neighborhood around it. That's what all these little, that's the beauty of these things, and that's why I have a lot of retail like this. Is in Sally Braid, these are the kinds of little stores that are personal service. They still have a life. They're usually not the kind of business that somebody can sell and somebody else will take it over. Not exclusively. But these are the kind of stores that usually they die along with the owner. When the owner quits, the store closes. It doesn't sell. But nevertheless, they can survive. They can pay rent. I love entrepreneurs and people that are in retail business. They're all entrepreneurs, right? I know that they will do whatever it takes to survive. And so if they last a couple of years, then they're probably golden for decades. So, hey, anyways, it's Friday. I want to say thanks everybody for hanging out with me a little bit. Members in the mentorship, we're going to cut the class a little bit short tomorrow for the holidays. And again, if you just got here, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. I never steer you wrong. Okay, I'll give you the best I can, and That's all I can do. But you'll see. And be sure to go to flipanythingusa.com and check. Just go to the page, check around, and look at my students and how well they've done. They're the best and brightest, and you'd be lucky to be a part of the community. And but you're welcome to try. You get approved. You fill out the mentoring survey, the webinar. Go to the webinar, and if it gets you excited, get in the mentoring survey. And, you can't just join. It isn't like just because you got a check, you can join. It doesn't work that way. I only let people in the class that are, got kidneys. Got to be very smart. So, anyways, thanks again, everybody. We'll see you later, and I'll leave you with this.
And listen, time is on a mission to eliminate all the snake oil and the fake gurus that fake y'all. He'll show you how to build an empire, starting with nothing but a desire. All you really need is a good mentor, not a used car bullshit. With time, you'll learn to crush it. Investing like Warren Buffett. With real estate, you cannot procrastinate. Everyone who hesitates is left at the starting gate. Hey, yo, so don't delay and join today. The mentorship and flip anything. USA, go.